take it there first and just focus on these heavy laning heroes.
Yeah, that's why everyone was so frustrated with Bulba always handing Viper to Sumail, because they were just like, dude, just let him do something interesting.
Take it there first and just focus on these heavy laning heroes.
That's why everyone was so frustrated with Bulba always handing Viper to Sumail, because they were just like, dude, just let him do something interesting.
You first and just focus on these heavy laning heroes. That's why take it there first and just focus on these heavy.
EG gets first pick, aka Ninjas in Pyjamas get last pick. So there is a curveball to be thrown if PPD wants to.
I like that for NIP especially, because it does. You have that lone druid, you have that brood mother, you have that Meepo pick just on the back burner if you need. And there goes Doom, there goes the Shadow Shaman. Sox being very greedy, it pushes towers, gets kills. We saw it earlier in the day. Fade's just laying wards on everyone, just winning the game for his team.
Dude, he was laying wards on people, he was laying wards on towers, Shaman.
On both, on creeps, he didn't care.
In the previous series at all, did we?
Telling me that EG's going to first pick Pango?
You know, Sumail, Pango middle. Even I don't know about that one.
I don't know if I've actually ever seen that.
I have seen it in pubs, and I'll just say he was practicing. No, but
figuring out how that vector targeting works out.
Drow is a hero. Yeah. If NIP doesn't, I'm curious. Will EG snap pick it? Bulba might be the type to, but maybe they wanted to bait him in. Like, no, we're not actually going to pick the Drow.
Drow and Abaddon also comes to mind of a hero still in high contention of previous games of Dota that we've watched throughout this tournament, and it is the Rubik that gets removed. So we still have both in the pool.
I would not have expected a Rubik ban.
No. Either. This is why I
like a throwaway ban because he doesn't want to ban something else.
Possibly, or just maybe it's a counter to something they're going to pick. Maybe it's just Peter already has all 20 bans and picks. He knows what order. I mean,
he's following the script.
Yeah.
Wouldn't you? Like, this is a series that they have had some time to prepare for.
The dude has a flowchart, probably.
Absolutely.
It's like choose your own adventure right now.
Yeah.
Since Tuesday afternoon, I believe, they knew this was going to be the matchup.
Yeah, there's the Drow.
Okay, now you take the first route and it says pick Nature's Prophet.
Sand King? Yeah, that's Nature's Prophet Sand King might be the strongest second pick opening in the game right now.
What about my boy Darkseer?
I think Darkseer, I don't think these two teams want to play like that, right? Because you always know if it's like an Enigma or a Darkseer, you just go into that lane, you're going to possibly win it, and with Oracle still in the pool, you just can't.
Right, that's a fair point.
I think you just take Abba here. I think one of the things that saves the Drow laning phase is someone annoying and someone who can heal, like an Abba. And I wouldn't doubt to see EG pick it.
I mean, Bane's still available.
Bane's bad against Nature's Prophet, though. I think is the biggest thing. Like, just in a straight-up 5-on.
I mean, we could say Grimstroke. Grimstroke was proving to be a slightly popular option against the Nature's Prophet.
Yeah. It's been a while since I've seen Fly play it. He might.
Yeah,
I actually think who is playing that? It's like OG and the Chinese teams, right? I haven't even. I think Mineski played it once too, but like the NA teams, they don't even think Grimstroke's a hero. I don't think.
Evil geniuses.
Jakiro, however.
So that's something that became popular today, specifically against Nature's Prophet. I mean, I know historically it's been a thing, but we're seeing it multiple times in multiple series of today.
I'm not a big fan of this hero. I'm going to be completely honest. I think he's one of the best here because it's like you go 2-4-2 on this hero now. You go like 2-0-2 and then 4 an Ice Path, maybe a Macro Pyre in there. But he feels like such a weak laner. You use Dual Breath. If you just like somehow miss it or they can absorb it, you just don't do anything in lane. I'm not a fan.
Is the weak laning situation not solved by the fact that there's a Drow on the team?
You still have one of the worst like attack animations in the game, but it does help at a decent amount.
Which, by the way, we have not seen Oracle. Speaking of strong laners, especially with Drow Ranger, there's still an Oracle ignored at the moment.
I think it's scary versus. I don't think they could pick it into Sand King, Nature's Prophet, because both of them can just get on the back lines and disrupt your entire game.
And we're seeing NPs build Spirit Vessel extremely early in the game.
Yeah, no boot Spirit Vessel on Fade earlier, like we talked about. And there goes the Brood ban. EG might just ban Brood, Meepo, or Brood Syllabar here, or Lone Druid, sorry. NIP on the other side things, okay. They're gonna do some of their own like Storm ban. Just good. Like, Brood would own it in lane. They're like, well, we don't want that then. Storm, we saw mid one just take over a game with it. No
just
thanks.
Make sure Fada does not get
a bad matchup.
Right, and doesn't let Sumail just get completely out of control. So anything that can pop off the Storm Spirits.
Are you glad we're not seeing Darkseer? Speaking of it, are you a fan of watching it, or?
I like seeing it with Sand King. I think it's very funny that they cut every single creep wave, and the enemy carry is just farming under the tower. Yeah. I find it amusing.
It's not a fun, for me anyway, it's not a fun hero on the lane per se, but it offers so much possibilities for one-more combos in the mid and late game, and that is always fun to watch.
Yeah. And Roche fight. You always, that's one of the biggest boxes to check in this current patch is you need a team that can not even take Roche, just fight around Roche, and now you have Sand King on one team, Jakiro on the other team. Already they've got that.
So they ban out Arteezy Lycan. Understandable, although, yeah.
No, they banned it out.
Oh.
So that wasn't. That definitely means something. You don't just ban a Lycan if you don't
banning
have
all these creep heroes. They're banning out Broodmother, they ban out Lycan, so, I mean, obviously Drow's very single target based.
Yeah. I think both those heroes are just insanely good versus Jakiro, and that's all you have to work off of, Jakiro and Drow. There's the Wyverns, so it is definitely going to be... Obviously, we don't know who the 3 and 4 is, but Sand King, Nature's Prophet...
I'd put my money on a PPD Wyvern, but
yeah,
don't know for sure.
I agree, and then it doesn't matter who the other two are. Like, you're going to have one initiate, one's just going to farm on Nature's Prophet and try to get items.
Right.
And they go Ursha, there he is, your boy, Tsunami.
Hero of the tournament, Crit Shaker, was just going to town in their earlier series versus Liquid.
Yeah, and this is the thing, it's not like an Oracle save, but you have a save for your Drow now. If somehow the Sand King stuns, you disrupt it all by you have the 2 longest range disables in the game, pretty much, in Ice Path and Fissure.
And so minimal commitment also, like you just toss one out, if it lands, then toss the other one out, and all of a sudden, someone's disabled for 4 seconds.
Yeah, we actually talked about that in the last draft with Kyle, because they, it was a Earthshaker picked, and they banned the Jakir, and we're like, yeah, that combo is just, you can do, with a Drow, you have 3 of the longest ranged heroes in the game now. But you also have Winter Wyvern, who, if they're all far away and you just ulti, well, someone's dead. Tons of creep clear. Both teams have checked off almost every box with only 3 heroes. You've got good tower push on just Jakiro and Drow. On the other side, Nature's Prophet can just do it himself.
And they have strong lands as well. Wyvern, Sand King, both extremely good. I agree that Jakiro is kind of lacking, but if this Crit Shaker gets early boots, then he can kind of shore up all the shortages of right-click dominance just by moving around the map and getting fissure blocks.
I think he might just go boots first this game, right?
Yeah, that wouldn't surprise me.
I guess it depends. If he thinks he's in the Nature's Prophet lane, he might do Stout build, but
that's an early Arc Warden pick though, because they have 10th pick overall.
Yeah,
they do. But it is that kind of not a gotcha pick, but it's Ace, right? He's one of the few people where if someone picks an Arc Warden, oh, that's not a cheese pick, it's Ace.
No, it's a legit pick, and I guess it's one of the heroes that you would ban out if you're EG and you know that there's going to be an Ace last pick. Yep.
The only problem I'm going to say is Drow's ultimate pierces the
she gets
bubble.
Accuracy. Yeah,
that's why I'm I don't like that pick at all. I actually really like the first 3 on both teams in this Arc Warden. I'm Drow you don't even go MKB on that hero. You just go Daedalus and you still do more damage. I'm a little bit suspect of this.
That does rely on Drow actually being where Arc Warden is and hitting him. And I think that the way that Ace plays Arc Warden is more a PvE-oriented strategy.
Well, that's the thing. I think both teams kind of think... I think EG now thinks we might see him just go for a super late game here, because Drow will win this 6-slotted game. Yes. The thing is, you have to make it there. And we'll see. Boba, look at him. No smiles here. Stressed out a little bit. This is scary. Top 3. You win this, you're top 3 of this major.
Yeah, that's a lot of points.
Yeah. And bragging rights. This is definitely a bragging rights game. Some of them are just top 3, cool. This is we beat them. Gotcha.
The stakes are on.
Yeah.
There's a lot on the line, for sure.
You might just take Sumails here. I'm trying to think what would be a good Sumail hero here since you don't have overall last pick.
I mean, they could go Alchemist.
That's not bad. They seem one of the... I think... Are they the only team who likes it? No, we've seen one other team
picked it.
But they're the only team who's picked it more than once, I believe.
Yeah.
Ooh, EG?
Yeah.
EG has picked it once.
And the Morphling.
I
believe that's a Sumail Drow, I believe. I believe he plays it when they have the Morphling, because Arteezy plays Morphling. That is very interesting, though.
So... What, do you send Arc Warden mid now, maybe?
I think there might be a lot of lane swaps, right? Because this is... Morphling wants to free farm in this game. and like the Sand King Nature's Prophet want to
They're not gonna
dominate
let
some
him,
lane.
yeah.
Yeah, there's going to be a lot of lane swapping.
If you're thinking about lane swaps, though, shouldn't Ninjas in Pyjamas always be victorious in the lane swap battle because they got a Nature's Prophet?
Right.
For the most part, yeah.
Yeah. Which is why EG needs something for S4 that, like, he can just park himself in a lane, he can be the constant, no matter who ends up showing up in his lane, he'll be okay with it.
I like Panda for EG. I think they need a little more. Like, you have the Earthshaker Jakiro, but your two other cores aren't the best team fighters. But you get a Panda, and then you have the two supports and Panda just running over people.
I'd be okay with that. I'd be okay with a Centaur as well.
I don't know why I don't like Centaurs much anymore. Like, I used to like him a lot. I think he needs a good lane partner. And
Yeah,
I'm not
he
sure about
does.
Jakiro and Earthshaker.
I'm mainly okay with him because he can deal with Nature's Prophet fairly well. Batrider would have been good at dealing with Nature's Prophet.
And
ban it out.
They need the single target pickup because they have a lot of long range, but Evil Geniuses doesn't have much way to get on top until the Earthshaker gets his items.
Right.
Right now, they are relying on Ninjas in Pyjamas initiating on them rather than the other way around. So they kind of need a tank.
I'm still surprised because we have not seen a Sumail on like a different hero much this tournament where he's
You
gonna
just played like Lesh, SF,
Yeah.
Mirana, Alk, and OD, and that's like throughout the group stage he only showed 2 heroes, but SF's not good clearly, and Leshrak I think we already know that he's playing the Drow most likely.
You see, it's pretty much just Fly, Bulba, and S4 talking, so you definitely know it's S4. Like, you have to be.
What would you like best?
Game. Yeah.
So how about a hero with tempo control like a Brewmaster?
That's what I liked.
Graham was on board with that.
Yeah, I think Brewmaster is probably the best pick for EG.
My only thing is it would be a little bit too cooldown dependent. NIP have like basically they can go the entire game long. As soon as like Nature's Prophet gets a catapult wave, start moving to different lanes. Ideally Arc Warden's lane, free it up for him.
Other than the Centaur you mentioned, are there more heroes that fit into the same category?
Well, the category I want is someone with a way to initiate, and then someone who's very tanky, and someone who doesn't get abused by Nature's Prophet.
All right.
And so it's not a very long list.
No.
Those are tough.
But, yeah.
Nature's Prophet, that's why it's a first pick hero. It checks up, like, it's just so hard to lane against that hero once you're like level 3 at the level 2 call.
Right.
And they are using all of their time.
Could they not just go back for a Dark Seer?
Radiant team.
No, it's the Brewmaster.
Brewmaster.
I think just overall, because now you can actually fight like 3-on-5. If a Brewmaster gets his ulti off, Shaker gets his ulti, you get an Ice Path, like you do just almost kind of win a fight, to be fair.
Right.
But the problem is you have to buy a lot of time, because Drow Morphling, Morphling is a good laner if he's in a 1v1 lane, but I think his Morphling's gonna have a lot of trouble in his lane wherever he goes.
I would totally be on board with a Pugna for NIP.
I think we were looking for a Fata hero.
Yeah, Pugna.
Right?
Pugna works.
He had played it. I want someone. Actually, I don't think he had played it once, but I want someone who is not cooldown dependent. And the Decrepify would be so good this game against this Morphling. Sure, you have to deal with the Dispel of the Storm Panda, but I just want something that's fast paced that can take down towers. Because if you've got an Arc Warden NP, just double down on it.
And you could just go DK, honestly, if you want it. I don't think it's the worst.
DK's
I'm not
good
the
too.
biggest fan of it, but it is someone to group up around, and while Arc Warden's farming somewhere else,
action. Well, let's have a look here. So, Kyle, if you're NIP, you were going to know, right, that this first pick Drow is going to come in. EG's going to try and pull this Drow strat on you. You've got something planned, right? The question is, what Ninjas in Pyjamas have showed so far with their draft, is this a good plan?
I think that the opening, the bans afterwards, and the Wyvern were all great. Like, you knew Bubble was going to pick Drow. Immediate Fury and Sand King, they did this in the group stage as well, I believe against Vici. Can't remember who they were playing against, but this exact opener, they banned Storm, they banned Puck. I thought EG needed a second pick Storm. They replace it with Sumail's Morph, but you know, it still is that high reach you can get on top of Arc 1, but it's not the same by any means, and it's also not nearly as comfortable.
And that last pick for Ninjas in Pyjamas, this Fada Legion Commander. Why? What does this hero do that can work so nicely for Ninjas in Pyjamas lineup?
I think it's about ensuring you have comfort. You want some sort of hard catch. It gives you a cleanse mechanic, and you can now kill these. Like, there's no save on EG, especially if an LC has BKB. So the Brew and the Drow and the Morph, like all of these heroes can just die in a duel. There's a lot of follow-up damage for this NIP squad, and it wasn't the best game for a DK, a Viper, a Razor, all these other Fada heroes. So replaced it with something that is a bit more niche. Based on the enemy matchups.
We'll see EG able to maybe move down bottom and get that bounty rim. At the same time, NIP actually be able to get all three of them there. PPD able to wrap round 3 against that one hit with those bounty rims starting off. And Legion is a hero in that middle lane, being played as a man. We'll see how well he does. PPD obviously after getting the bounty room will still be chased for quite some time here by Crip and Fly. As they should get the kill, it will just take them quite a long time to do so. So, yeah, in fact, Fly already out of there. He says, I'm not wasting time with this, Crip. You deal with PPD. And this is going to be a very slow beatdown on PPD. I mean, he's going to be able to fly again in 10 seconds. So, questionable if actually Crip is able to get this kill. I think PPD may be able to just walk away.
It's not happening. In fact, he's going to probably be able to harass middle with this Q as well. No, just going to ensure he escapes.
Your Grace.
I mean, he's going to try and fly over, but as you say, yeah, the duration not going to be long enough to allow him to do anything to Sumail either.
Yeah.
So looking at these lanes, is there any way we're going to see some suffering?
I think top lane's the one to watch. The Furion and the Sand King can snowball very hard against this Drow lineup. Wyvern, Arc Warden, bottom against Shaker Brew. This is more of a trade lane, but top and mid where action can happen. Curious to see this. Have we ever seen more first LC?
Well, I was going to ask you, how does this lane go, would you imagine?
I have no idea.
Does the LC do all right?
I think with Drow Aura, you'd probably favor Morphling, but LC can crush the first couple of waves. But as you can see, Fada already getting out harassed, and Sumail's going to have hill control, which is big. If you get lane control as the LC, you can chase down Morph while he's still low HP, but it looks like it'll be Sumail favored, although it's tough to deny against each other. They both have such high base damage.
And I guess there's never really a point in that lane where the Morphling's under threat to be the LC, unless Sumail makes a mistake.
I think it's almost the other way around, where if you get a HP advantage, you can actually threaten the LC a lot better than he can you.
For sure.
Yep. As you can see, bottom, just a bunch of harass. PPD's going to use the Q off cooldown. It's tough to try and utilize pulls until you're level 2, and I assume Crate with those boots first will be trying to stop that at all times. S4 takes the flux, though. Could be in trouble.
He has got the creeping search around him, and Spark Wraith laid down, but S4's already out there. 33, having to TP back to the base. He's got the global teleport, so we'll be able to get back out on the map. Yeah, CS in the middle lane, even with these first few waves.
Yep. Yeah, I really like to, going back to the draft, the second phase bans from both teams are on point, in my opinion. Storm Puck from NIP, Brood Lycan from EG. Both, it's PPD and it's EG. These guys know each other. It's not the first nor the last time these squads will face up. A strong rivalry, and up top.
I'm going to try to make a move on to Arteezy. Flies there with the help, with the slow onto the two of them, and that will hold Saxon 3-3 back. Arteezy does get the salve going, and will be able to keep himself away to get that good full duration of it back up to full HP on the safe lane Drow.
That's the Jakiro factor. You throw out a dual breath, liquid fire, the Treants will not get an auto attack off, and as you can see, neither could the Sand King. So you end up just getting more damage harass off, but over time, especially once Arteezy hits 6, that's when the Drow starts to take off. I think 3-3 might want to look to get active bottom lane, but at the same time, you never want to leave Drow in lane. That's the trouble with Core Furion. You want to stay in lane as long as possible, but you also are always tempted to make those rotations.
Looking also at the draft of NIP, do you think that NIP has enough to deal with a morphing down the line in terms of catch? Is sort of dual and burrow strike going to be enough? I see top, bit of a move on to Arteezy.
Blocks.
Some really nice body blocks off, and that'll do it. Sets up for first blood. They'll get it.
Yeah, they did a great job. They pushed the lane in. They got level 3 first, and that 20 damage increase, 25 damage increase on the Sandstorm is really what made the difference there.
Yeah,
great body blocks as well.
You said this was a lane to watch, and it certainly is. These two heroes, a lot of kill potential against the two of them fly, unable to do enough to hold them back.
And you can see even with 3-3's item build, going for the double orb and wand build, it's not about chasing down. It's just about ensuring you're able to last hit as effectively as possible and deal maximum DPS. So he's got 12 denies most in the game, and they pick up the first blood. And if there's a guy that's going to win the game for NIP, he's the one that just picked up first blood. 3-3 on this Prophet. He can snowball this hard and try and take those tier 1s early.
And these other lanes have to be careful. Sure, Sumer will have escape with the waveform early on if any ganks come in, but definitely on this bottom if S4 comes too far forward.
Yep.
There is going to be eyes on that lane to make the moves.
And that's the thing about the LC as well. If you get map control as NIP, take those towers early, how do you push out lanes if you're EG? You've got no real flash farmers. Drow and Morphling can't go play the hard lane because at any moment there could be a blink or a Shadow Blade on Fada, immediate duel into a TP.
That bottom S4. He's going to try and TP back, but he's gone. PPD's got the damage with the Splinter Blast, and that's a dead brew, and also a dead brew that will not have the TP available to come back to lane quickly. He's going to have to take the long walk.
Yep, that is huge. NIP dominating their side lanes at the moment. Mid and even split. Bounty Rune's about to spawn. Looks like we'll have 3 going the way of NIP. You're not going to be unhappy about that, as PPD now can look to pull the safe lane. And this is the trouble when you get behind against Dark Warden. Look at the gold on Ace. He's got double Wraith Band. He's probably just going to rush a Midas here. And as you said, S4 having to walk all the way back, he's going to be so far behind.
Mid lane Crip. Does manage to get the wraparound onto Fada with that Fisher block off. Fada's still got a fair bit of movement speed with the boots. Can he get away? There's an invis room. Oh, is he going to get away? No! The fade time too long as Sumer will get that last right click in before Fada disappears.
That was huge. EG needed to make something happen there, and that's one of the things about the Shaker versus Sand King relationship. We've seen this throughout Dota for so long, but Shaker is much more effective pre-blink. Post-blink, it's the Shaker's game, but right now, Sox has a much easier time making moves.
And up top 33, he's TP back in. They wanted to try and make something happen with Saxa, but they're outnumbered. Crit being there, Burrow Strike does come out, and that allows 33 to walk away. Arteezy taking a lot of damage from the Sandstorm, apply the tree and eats it up.
You can see right there, like you get the Fisher block and a couple auto attacks, whereas Sand King, he lands a double burrow and just sits in the Sandstorm. It's so much AoE.
You've got to get out of it.
Yeah, plus the Epi coming out later. But look for Crit. I think he's been a stellar performer for EG this entire tournament, even talking to the players. Like, they think he's on fire. And if he gets a blink by 15 minutes or so, that could be what they need to equalize.
And yeah, it's such a good hero to have him on. We've seen already what this hero can do. Yapso in that last series, just giving us masterclass on the Shaker. And as you say, definitely you can expect big things to come out from Crit this game as well.
But check out mid lane. This is the downside of the LC mid, where Sumel's just keeping control on his hill. Fada can't really play middle anymore. He's got 79 damage. Morphling sitting on 110, and a nice job. Always having raindrops is Sumel, so even if you get the huge Q nuke off, it's just not going to do much. And look at this, 2 auto attacks and 1 measly little adaptive strike, and you've got Fada almost down to half HP.
I mean, what is the best way for Fada to have the impact this game? Does he go straight for the Blink Dagger, or do you build other items as a mid-legion?
It's a tough one. I think you'd ideally like to go for some sort of build-up item first, and preferably get some kills with duel early before you get any sort of mobility item. But it's very much a snowballer, and so far Fada is 3rd place on his team. Not behind by any means, but not the best start. And unfortunately for Nip, the core hero, the key hero, both player and matchup, is Sumail, and he's about to take 1st place in the net worth if he can grab a last hit in just a moment.
Now this morph has, as you say, just been in a lane where a lot of lane matchups, of course, but as a morphling, he's just been uncontested. Sumail.
Yeah, bottom.
Very easy work on that.
Ace is picking up his Midas. It's on Courier, and he saved his ultimate, so we'll have double Midas usage pre-8 minutes. Don't know the average time, but certainly not bad, especially when you consider his map-up advantage against Drow. But like Grant said, it's the level 25 Drow that makes him, that's scary. But Arc Warden will be the king of this mid-game once you get that ability to shove lanes, and that is what I think EG's weakness is in this draft. If you can get towers and keep lane control, you'll just out-farm EG until you eventually just, you have an insurmountable lead, and you just go win the game.
Heavy pressure on S4 there. First Tempest double usage and Spark Race and Fluxes. As S4's going to have to be careful in the trees. Has got a south. Sumail, haste runed up. He's found PPD wandering in the river. This should be a bit of a freebie for him as he zips in. Wait for him, and that'll do it. PPD's dead. Sumail having the free farm and now a free kill. As he'll come back into the lane, fodder. Obviously he does have the duel, but not a target that he can do anything about even with it. As this Morphling, so much HP to work with.
Yeah, so now it's a 2k lead for NIP. You're feeling good, but it's 10 minutes soon. You want to make a play around the Catapult Wave and the Bounty Rune spawn. This is a nice start, though. Fly should go down here. TP from Brew.
Obi and is a level 6 Brew. That's able to pick up enough XP on that bottom lane before he comes in. So now they can maybe try and find some kills out of it. 33 will sprout himself up, tries for the TP, but there's the Ice Palm. They've held him back, and with that movement from S4, they should get 33. Saxo is on top of Fly, though. Fly's actually stuck. Fly will fall. They'll get the trade 1-for-1.
You take that, though. 1-for-1, you forced the split. Brew forced to abandon the bottom lane. They actually just did a swap. Sumail's down here. He's got treads. Looking to make a play. They have a ward behind tower, but Ace, he knows something's up, and he's got Midas off cooldown. He wants to use that ASAP.
Yeah, we'll be able to get that neutral creep camp. And the ward's coming down, as you see, still that observer ward deep from EG behind that tier 1, keeping tabs on Ace's farm. They've got their eyes on S4. They want to make a play whilst that split is unavailable. Leading with the burrow strike from Saxa. Here comes the TPs. Will they be there soon enough? Flies in to slow down Saxa. S4 backing away. PPD keeping that burn upon him. Won't be enough damage to kill S4, as S4 will survive.
Yeah, slight miscue there. If PPD had got the mango off onto Saxa before he stunned in, he would have been able to Effie and possibly secure the kill on both heroes. Instead, the Catapult Wave is about to spawn, and they're still going to have to deal with S4.
I did come across to see if he could maybe take those bounty runes away, but NIP, they'll keep their hands on those top 2. Bottom lane.
Yep. I like this decision from Sumail. Get out of mid lane, leave it for your Drow Ranger. Arteezy needed some XP, so he gets 6 much faster, and now you just go bottom to collect a free tower.
Yeah, no defense here from NIP. And this will be more money into the bank for Sumail.
It's really good movement because you want the crit shaker down here to just safeguard Sumail. He really can't die as long as there's something to peel an LC. And now, after the tower dies, you leave crit because he's so far away from any enemy structures that no one can come here without showing on the wards that EG's placed. Tops the move for NIP though, and nice job, Fly. Micropire.
Caught a little far forward. We'll be able to try and clear the way, but they have the fortification and the duel coming in. Fada picks up the first bit of bonus damage this game. But they'll move on to that tier 1 tower. S4 still hanging around, 15 seconds, and split will be available. But this is not a defense that they'll hold. They'll let this tier 1 go.
Both teams have a great read on the game. EG, oh, hold up.
Oh, Sumail. See if he can go for this one. If the Tempest double Ace should have the, obviously the numbers, and Ace will make sure he doesn't feed that double away either to Sumail.
Yeah. You can see, like, NIP, they recognize, okay, 10 minutes, we abandon bot, and immediately we put ace mid, the rest of us go top. You want to swarm these towers. EG recognized, look, we can try and mitigate the damage, but there's no way we're fighting right now. I think S4, he's either going to be going for Blink or Midas. I think it'll end up being a Midas just because this game will most likely go so late. Bottom, Sox on the pursuit, Luthier's Prophet.
Crit got any way out? It's got a TP, that'll do. No other way to stop it. An immediate TP towards that mid one. That's smart. They think he's gone out of there. He's ready to go straight back into the action with this smoke alongside Sumail and S4.
If he's got Tranquil Soul Ring, he has no need to ever return to base. He's got Dunk prepared, and yeah, this is a great move. This will be faster paced than NIP.
They can get Ace.
Split.
This is a big catch if they can manage to get on top of him. S4 charging in. Fisher comes out. S4 gets the clap slow. Splits out as well. Can PPD save Ace? That's the question. Zip forward from Sumail. He's looking towards PPD on the back. There'll be a cold embrace for Ace. They'll surround him. Fada's coming in as well, but the Echo Slam onto the two of them holds him back. Ace will go down. EG get the kill onto the Arc Warden.
Yep, and they throw up LC as well. Fly might look to set up on this, but I think EG, they're just going to take that kill and get the hell out of here. Although on the bot side,
they get PPD as well. Sumail with that last adaptive strike picks up a second. 2 kills for EG off the back of that quick move.
And the big downside for the NIP, I believe Soxa took Tome, because PPD is only level 4. If he's got ult there, that's the peel to prevent this Panda ult from reigning supreme in all of these mid-game engagements. He needs 6. Otherwise, all EG has to do is right there. Like, just dive, find the kill on Arcboard, and there's nothing anyone can do to save him.
And with those kills, Sumail getting closer and closer to having the Lincolns. And once he has that first sort of item, the lockdown problem becomes even greater from NIP.
And again, just this is what we've seen from Drowse over and over. It doesn't matter how you counter the hero. If you can't deny his safe triple camp, bottom side for Dire, top side for Radiant, Arteezy, he doesn't matter how bad his game was, he's about to surpass his offlaner in net worth, and all he has to do is continuously farming around this shrine. And I don't know how you break into it at this point if you're NIP. You need to kill mid tower first, but you can see there's no way EG's going to let that go without a fight. What is Fada going to go?
He's got the drums. Getting that extra wind lace potentially as well, so he has that chase, that movement speed. They've got to try and find some jewels. So far, it's just been the one up top.
Yep.
And 13 minutes in. They need their Legion to have an impact. And make sure that the space is there for this Arc Warden to blossom. And he's still at the top, of course. Arc Warden with the double Midas is effective. Keeping on par with Sumail's farm.
Yep. I think you feel good if you're both teams. The game plan they came into is working. EG just trying to slow the pace of the game until they've got Blink Daggers on their initiators. And Drow's got a couple of items to keep yourself safe. They want to be gunning for Arc Warden all game, but Ace recognizing, I'm just going to go the fastest farming acceleration build I can. Midas immediately into Maelstrom. Just trying to shove lanes, get as farmed as possible, as the rest of the squad just plays a part. Look at this S4, he's got to blink up. He actually rushed the blink with DD bottled. This is huge because now these inevitable mid-game fights for these towers, specifically the mid lane, I don't know how you stop EG if you can't kill S4 pre-split.
And just with the Maelstrom on, Ace tell you that he is going to be joining these fights as soon as EG push, or are you going to look to see Ace just stay pretty much away from any sort of action and just put focus on keeping the waves out?
He can TP into it, but it's tough to make moves with Ace. He doesn't ever want to be in a position where he's the first target EG can beeline for, because they do have a ton of reach thanks to the blink and the waveform forwards that's always available on Sumail, who will be going Lincolns. So I haven't seen that very often in this tournament. Mostly it's the Morbid Mask into just raw damage output. But it's quite nice here because it ensures
it just makes him unkillable, though,
yeah, the duel, the Wyvern ult, the Sand stun, all of these get cancelled, and there really isn't much that you can do as NIP to burn this before you pick up an item to do so.
Whereas, you know, obviously an EG they have, as you say, instant ways to get in, instant ways to start the fight. Once the Blink Dagger's there on crit, a jump and an echo is an easy follow-up for the rest of EG to come in and take a team fight.
Yeah, but don't let this slow pace fool you. As soon as we start looking at Roshan as an objective, this game is going to get real bloody real quick. There's no Blink Dagger on either 4 position, but they're coming up very soon. 400 away on the Shaker, 200, 300 away on Soxus. So, again, near identical performances by these sides.
33, he's been found, tries for the TP out, they block him up with the Fisher with the Macropie down. They should have the damage to do this, so maybe Saxa can come with the Burrow Strike, they can help, but no, there's the stun. Fada, he tried to pitch, but he does it too early, so the stun is still there on 33, and that'll mean that 33 is gone. S4 gets the kill on the Prophet. The rest of NIP still hanging around this split. Fada does have a duel if they can catch S4 as he comes out of it, but the Ice Path allows S4 to freely blink out. Nothing can be done from NIP to trap him. S4's back to safety.
Kids know me, ever in that scenario, make sure you bind your blink to quick cast, because as long as you're spamming it, whether you're OD coming out of an Astral, Shadow Demon out of Disruption, like, you're going to be able to get it off before those ticks of damage. Very few spells will ever cancel a Brew Blink so long as he's on the ball. And just unfortunate there, Sox, if he stuns the Pandas, he saves 3-3, and a really nice play by S4. He dispelled the heal from the Legion Commander that would have kept his Prophet alive. It's a maxed out press the attack on Fada. EG definitely controlling a bit more of the map, but Arc Warden manufacturing gold just because of the nature of the hero. Double Midas off cooldown.
Bot's done as well, so Ace can quickly get around to those positions in the map where no one else can reach to farm.
Sumail with Lincoln's going E-Blade next. I like the decision. It's all about the burst. You just go for the Wyvern, you go for the Arc Warden. That's why Nip bans Storm, because they've got to protect these backlines.
Saxa does the blink pickup. Is able to close the gap onto the Shaker and set up for a successful duel for Fata.
That's huge.
It's the first blink showing, and it's a nice one.
It helps slow down crits as well. He's still 250 gold away from the purchase. And EG, they don't really want to make any super aggressive plays till they have that counter initiation available. TP's coming in bottom, 3 of them. But Sumail, it's very tough to take this hero down unless you can cancel the Lincolns. There it is, but they just don't have enough setup for the Wyvern ulti unless they're almost all clumped around as Fada arrives to duel, who will be going blink post drums. The damage output on Nip will not be there. They're going to have to outplay EG because all of their sustained DPS is going to be this Arc Warden.
And it's going to be hard with how EG's cores are farming. It's, you know, RTZ is not getting caught out. He's farming it very smartly.
And just only drow things.
Yeah, only that one death in the landing stage, and since then they've not been able to find him or get on top of him at all. It's been a free drow for Artor.
Even though they got crushed top, but he's already exceeded 3-3's net worth. Just the nature of the hero. He's been chilling in this bottom half of the map for quite some time. If we got a heat map, throw it up, because you're going to see no reason to do anything. Once that landing stage ends, you can cross the river, but only for those 2 creep camps. Anything else is a bit too risky. And they've warded consistently around that Radiant bottom shrine to protect him. And you can see another one replaced, blocking the entrance into his jungle. They also have a lane ward middle, just trying to control the center of this map, ensure that Roche doesn't become an objective for NIP.
And we'll see if Fondo's able to make a jump with that newly found blink. He's got it. He's got his eyes on mid, alongside
Radiant's middle tower is under
Sand King and the EG. They are prepared. S4's there on the side. Primal split at the ready if a fight does kick off. S4 ranking in on top of PPD, but PPD's in the trees safely. EG trying the best to finish off this tower. They have the full 5-man actually around here, also bringing RTZ over to the fight.
Yep, and up top 3-3. This is the beauty of nature's prophet. He's going to be able to kill this tier 2 if EG don't decide to get frisky. But it's tough. There's so much deep push on the side of NIP. They've got 3 different heroes that can just spam spells. I see Bada.
still gets the blink off. He's on top of PPD. He holds him down with the ultimate. As S4's held in place. S4's still good to go there. They can try and chase on for more. He looks towards the high ground, but he doesn't want to go blindly up there. Yep. It's a bit of a jump from both sides, but nobody dying.
Yeah, this game's poised on the knife's edge. It's so tough. It's 6-6, almost 20 minutes into the game, but it's not as if these teams aren't trying to make plays. It's just that they have so much defensive capabilities that diving forwards could end up just throwing a game. And any team that loses a critical engagement, they give away Roche too, because of the nature of these lineups. Oh, Bada, he's just dead.
He got baited in for that. He tried to contest for the bounty rune, but Bada with a quick blink of jewel catches him out. Elsewhere on the map, PPD should fall. He's on his own. But definitely the bigger catch there for NIP, getting the kill on Artor and getting that extra damage onto Fata.
And they're going to shrine. Oh, they're going to look to smoke here on EG, I think. But there's a ward. They saw that on NIP.
They did.
They got to be careful middle, but that's just the illusion. No problems.
And will actually disappear before he's able to hit it down.
Does that pop smokes? That pop smokes. Is that intended?
It works as a hero in a lot of regards,
I suppose. S4's got to be careful.
They've got the jump from Saxa. See if they can get S4. S4's got the split if he pressure, but he doesn't get it off. He holds onto it for too long.
Yeah, caught the spark wave. Didn't see it coming. Too much damage output from Ace. Mjolnir finished. My God, Ace is so farmed. All of a sudden, his net worth has skyrocketed. He's 2k ahead of the game.
Yeah, he can definitely turn up to the fights now and be a huge issue for EG.
And look at the item build. I actually think this is the play here from Ace. I have not seen anyone do this in so long. Okay, he had Blink queued up. Now it's Shadow Blade. But if you go Hex at some point with some sort of mobility item, just your illusion around the map is a threat, because 3-3 can always just teleport in to provide more damage. Who also went for a Midas, by the way, post Spirit Vessel. NIP definitely gearing up for the long haul. They know this game is going to go late. They want to ensure that they don't lose and put themselves on a clock.
From the draft perspective, sort of the panel and you say that EG should still feel more comfortable in the late game.
But it's the super late game.
Okay. That's Vada. They get the jumping crit, trying to help out, make sure that they don't lose this jewel. He's going to get the kill, doesn't get the bonus damage, and will lose his life for that. Maybe they can get Saxa as well here. Saxa shot down by Artor's drop. As EG will punish NIP for going a little bit deep for that kill attempt.
You got to be careful, PPD. They're just going straight for him. You can see
in. So now closing the gap whilst in the Legion form. There's the attack damage and speed there. But the press the attack, punching down the Wyvern. Tower taken as well.
And that's the down. Like NIP, you got aggressive. You found your one kill, but now all of a sudden you just walk into Roche if you're EG.
And here we have it once again, just using this buff of the Legion. Sumail has a lot of punching power to take this objective of Roche. The top lane is getting pressured in by the Treants.
Exactly, and I think Nip now for the next 5-10 minutes, you got to think about creep waves and abusing EG's lack of wave clear. You aren't capable of taking fights, as we've just witnessed. The Brew and the Earthshaker, they are lords of the game right now. You just get these waves, try and clear the tower's bottom, and maybe even threaten tier 3. You've got tons of global mobility. Prophet could always teleport in, summon trees, and then all of a sudden Ace is there too, or just sends his clone. Who knows?
Oh, the blade mail finished on Fada, and smoke picked up as well. If they pop it, they can look to hunt. And if they catch Sumail while shifted low, And full in RG. It's definitely gonna hurt.
It's all about this game of cat and mouse. Nip, Arc Warden does more damage. Oh, top, they're gonna go fly for free.
They've got their eyes on him. Epicenter will be used.
Yeah, Ace does more damage, but he's far more susceptible to being targeted, whereas Sumail's Morph, especially with Linken's and Aegis, now a Manta complete as well. You don't ever feel confident trying to dive forwards for him. And oh no, they found Saxa, who blinks away.
The blink, the crit's there with the chase. There's the power strike though from Saxa into the TP, and in the trees he's going to get out of there. Crit will look for the target of 33. Once the core instead, we'll be able to cancel the TP and more than enough damage offered from Sumail.
Have a nice kill, but look around the map. Nip, they lose one, but they're always ensuring that the other two lanes are going to be shoved. That's how you got to play this. You're into the Aegis. You're not concerned about the game going later. You've got the Midases.
Is under attack.
It's still a very stable game. They're going to smoke towards top, though. And this is the beauty. When you're shoving lanes around the map, you can abuse the global mobility. Arc Warden invis top.
It's got that DD room picked up as well. Fada, if he can find the catch, Ace starting to kick the fight off with the Tempest Devil, getting aggressive. Crit is below. Saxa in with the two-man power strike. There's the LC dual follow-up. Echo Slam does come in, but it doesn't matter. They've got the 2 kills required. Now it looks as if they can chase down Sumail. Go for the TP out. Is there any cancel? There's not. Yeah, using the ultimate there, but of course nothing else to pop through the Lincolns and then hold him down.
Oh, look at this now. Ace bottom lane with his real hero.
Quick plays. Ace up and down the map, making an impact top, making an impact bottom.
That's how you do it. You split, you get EG a bit confused. That was the Shadowblade reveal, only using the clone, and then his real hero is still bottom. Just perfect. This is Ace's signature hero. And he's showing why.
Yeah, the net worth massively above the average at the moment on this Arc Warden.
Dyer's bottom
They get the free towers bottom now, perhaps. Runes are spawning. Looks like EG are going to lose all 4.
See Sumail at least try and finish off the double. Get himself a bit of the bonus from that. As you say, Rune controls there for NIP, the net worth lead as well. 5k advantage at 25 minutes in. Ace just sailing ahead in farm. Very hard for Sumail and Artor to keep up with.
And it's tough, and this is where the S4 build comes into question, right? Because he went for the rush blink into Vlad's, and sure, you got that one nice pick-off, but the lack of Midas means that he won't be that huge brew we've gotten used to seeing. The level 20, level 25 talents, like, that make this hero an incredible force in the late game, but right now it looks like EG need fights, or they're going to slowly see that lead of NIP increase. And Ace, he smells blood in the water. He's just going to keep making plays.
Yeah, he just goes past the tower here with the Tempest double and starts to punch into Crit. Crit, will he die here? Ooh.
One more Mjolnir proc would have done it.
So scary, and that's 4 heroes having to deal with that pressure applied.
Yep, and look at the warding as well from NIP. Very aggressive. They want to be playing enemy side of the map at all times. You don't have any worries about your dead lane because you've got 2 different heroes capable of just shoving waves while still being able to join the team with the global mobility. That's why up top, their kill potential is just playing around this top wave, because as soon as it enters base, like you can see right here, the clone, the treants, you're actually threatening the tier 3, and it forces EG back.
They've got to get back, but at the same time, if they do get back, it's not an easy defense. The jump's there from NRP, fortification has to come out from EG. They're smoked up down bottom, but they need to make it back up here if they want to try and hold on to this area of the base. Zip ball from Sumail, start to lay down the Spark Craves as he moves into the form of the Arc Warden. And it will slow down the siege for now, but already half damage done to that tier 3 on that top lane. EG have got to be prepared for this sort of split pressure from NRP, because NRP can do it so well. He's on the Arc Warden. The real Arc Warden. Held back by the Yule Scepter. TP coming in as well from 33. Off the ult. Holds them in place. Are they going to try and follow this up or run away? Looks like it's the retreat that they're after. Ace getting out of there with a Shadowblade, and Saxa, should that blink back up soon enough to escape? Sentry's going to be laid down, but Ace already far enough away in the trees. They'll continue to try and hunt for him, but he's well and truly hidden. Saxa as well will not be found, as that scan actually just missing Saxa, as they did scan quite close to him. In fact, in the middle lane of the river, they're going to look to fight back. The NIP's in with the duel. That's a dead Crit. They catch the shaker. Saxa's in with a blink bar strike onto Fly. NIP's going to find more potentially. Sumail moves with the SK, will get the revenge. He comes in with a bar strike. Actually, he's up the high stages. They want to try and find more, but he's got to be careful.
He didn't get the regen either. They have to get out of here for EG. Regen will be picked up by Sumail. And I love games like this because you can see both teams have plans, right?
They know the
EG, they want to go find a fight. They try and force it. Nip, they scatter away and then immediately look to find skirmishes once EG splits back up. You don't want those full team engagements yet. Your advantage is not big enough. You just want to abuse map control and your ability to force EG to opposite corners of the map just to deal with their waves.
And Ace, Orchid, complete too, so we sort of saw before how he could just send the Tempest double out and cause a lot of issues. If he finds supports on their own, they will die.
And Arteezy going for a Linken's as well. They recognize the importance of being able to stop NIP from using these single target abilities and items. And also that's the power of the Wyvern. That's why PPD third picks it. Because EG will end up beelining for your Arc Ward, and you've got to be there to get that peel off. Doesn't matter if you end up dying. Just save your cores, buy them space, buy them time. It's very difficult for EG to ever threaten high ground if they don't have like at least 3 or 4 enemies on the side of NIP go down first. Just because they're waves.
Yeah, Sumail's ready to get the kills now, though. The E-Blade complete on top of the Manta Linkers, as we already talked about. This very, pretty much unkillable build. This Maul thing, not only invincible, but also very potent if he finds a catch. Sumail will move over toward that top lane.
S4?
He's struggling this game, Carl.
He walked back in. Bottom.
And with another on drought. Just like that. 2 big core kills.
Oh, but they
Sumail
do
kills
Ace.
So EG, they will take a trade there.
They didn't even use Echo there.
It's a lot of money for Sumail as well. Of course, Ace having a brilliant game, and that's 900 gold going the way of the Morph. But EG losing both RTZ and S4. Pressure is now available for NIP to push down on this bottom lane. They do have to be careful of Sumail, though. He's a killer, and he wants blood as he zips in. But pop the Linkers, they'll go in with the Burst Strike. They do not have the duel up again.
Yeah, that was the E-Blade reveal up top there. He actually just obliterated Ace, who, while he's farmed, only 2300 HP, 9 armor, Sumail wrecked him. They lost 2 around the map, however. Very even back and forth. Only 17-13 bounty runes in 10 seconds. EG, even though they had that kill on the critical core, it's so difficult for them to get aggressive on the map. They're going to lose 3 bounties here.
And as soon as they're back out again, it's been scanned out. Fada and Sax are there on the high ground. Duel ready. If EG do head up, and they won't. They know that they've been found out.
Yep, next big objective is Roche. 30 seconds to 3 minutes 30 on the spawn. It's very big. Both squads need that Aegis on their big core. The BKB timing's critical. You've got one on the Furion. Look, soon to be finished on Fada. Sumail will be closing on his soon. And Arteezy going for the Linken's. This could hurt the side of EG because Arteezy now, if he actually is jumped, if they get the stun off, they get the duel off, he will just die.
Arteezy, as you say, at the moment they're not pushing with the team, still staying on his own, farming these side lanes, making sure that he can get that item done. Ace, bringing the double in. They've got good vision down though on the side of EG, with observers and sentries to make sure that this Tempest double doesn't get the kills that it's hunting for.
Yeah. It's up 3-3, what's he going for? Yeah, the AC as expected. He's got the Vlads on Nip though. Someone's probably going to figure out that that item is still necessary. I like Soxa. Soxa's deals, and this is my concern with the EG double Linken's, because Soxa can just blink in, and sure, his initiation will be delayed by that 1 frame, but he's still going to be able to find the stun, and that nullifies the 5,000 gold that both big cores on the side of EG have selected to go for. And Brew just is not really a core in this game. S4 playing more of a 4 position Brew. But him and Crit are still going to be the ideal team fighters. They just have to make sure that one of their initial targets is the Wyvern of PPD. That's going to be tough. He's got an Aether Lens. He's just going to chill in the back, try and get Arc Warden out of dodge, let him pick a high ground to just become that Gatling gun.
And the Winter's Curse should be there every fight.
Roche is up, smokes out, both sides.
See Saxa and Fada on the low ground, EG.
EG's under the wards of NIP, and you can see, they don't want to run into a squad assembled. They want to find these pickoffs. DD bottoms could be big if somebody finds it. Looks like it'll be Fada.
If they can make the move up into that jungle area, he could get the catch onto Arteezy.
Yep.
Arteezy behind the shrine. Still a very risky part to fight into, and yeah, with the Linkers now done, Artur a lot safer from these sort of jumps from the Legion.
You can see, look how fast the side lanes go. And all of a sudden, EG, they've got to once again split up around the map. So difficult for them to try and get momentum going because just a clone up top of Ace clears 2 waves immediately, and all of a sudden the tier 3 is once again going to be under pressure if EG don't respond. The ward just faded in the mid wave so that they won't see NIP anymore. They've got a smoke ready on PPD. I think, no, none available. They had used it, but wisely just choose not to walk up into an engagement. Sumail finishes his BKB. Now, no real way to stop him. That
I don't think they can kill him. It's so hard. They have to, as you said, perfectly pop the Lincolns, Make sure he doesn't get this BKB on Manta off. He's just so tricky to lock down with this build that he's gone for somehow.
Ace just clearing off the mid tier 2, and he actually Arteezy? Scaring me, but that takes him out of the fight, and now it's a 4-on-5.
The base. EGR still going to try and push on. They get the jump in immediately. There's the damage from Samel. Burst down PPD. The lockdown there onto Saxon. There will be a duel, but it doesn't matter. So already Samel has pretty much full strength. He can just withstand any sort of damage. Follows already thrown up anyway by S4 split. They'll jump themselves away now. EG backing off. And NIP's got number. Saxon still actually alive. He was able to survive. Ace hunting things down with the Tempest double, but the rest of NIP are backing off. They don't want to try and chase down EG.
Yeah, somebody's got to pick up. Oh, they do have it, but man, that's crazy. They got Wyvern. You can see as soon as they kill the Wyvern, it's much easier for them to commit to fights. But even still, like, just you got to play flawlessly on PPD here because he just dies to the E-Blade combo. Sumail cannot find him, and this makes vision super important for both sides. Roche is going to be the next objective we play around. Who's going to spot who first?
Saxon, thinking about setting things up. There's the Tempest double in with the Bloodthorn. So much damage out from Ace. The supports are easy pickings for him.
Yeah.
Though they're losing the Tempest double, it's always a nice bonus to the cause of EG, picking up that 300 gold bounty from taking it down. So, sure, they lose the support, but you can't underestimate the gold that Tempest double does feed.
Yep. And it's so cool. EG, they still have the pressure. They want to try and find fights, and I think they still have a slight advantage if they were to just beeline for each other 5-on-5. But Nip can find kills and go for kills without investing nearly as much. It's just a Tempest double and a stun. In fact, Sux didn't even stun. He threw out a Yols and said, "Hey, Ace, come kill this guy."
Ace hunting with that Bloodthorn. S4, another death here on the Brute.
Yeah. Hex is the next item as well. Perfect for Mace. It's all about just split pressure.
My goodness! There was a Sanking there. I'm pretty sure about it, but now he's gone. Bismorph, the power of Samel. Just getting rid of him every single time.
It's tough. Both sides, like Morph and Arc Warden, are lords of the map, and no mere support may stand against them. It doesn't even take any investment. It's just they're just dead. You get your spells off, most heroes will fall. Again, the thing is, Ace, he has the luxury of doing this without having to invest his real hero.
Waters rise.
And every time Arteezy takes out the clone, I'm scared. I feel like one of these days, it's going to be the clone that reigns victorious.
Still an 8k lead for NIP. A lot of that being on that Arc Warden with the double Midas play, of course, from Ace. And the fact that he's been able to farm as fluidly as he has this game.
Yep. And he has the Spark Wraith talent as well. It's so much burst damage. If he finds a hero solo, not only is it just the auto attack damage, but an immediate 2 Spark Wraiths that do 660 damage apiece. It's like 2,000 damage in the space of 2 seconds.
I mean, they just sort of had to let this Tempest double be every time. It just clears out at least a wave before they can kill it off. We'll hop back to the instant replay just in case you did miss the Sand King dying as quickly as he did.
Yeah, I feel like we needed slower motion there. Roche is still a target, but you can see Nip, they're not willing to commit to a choke point. That's suicide against the EG lineup. You don't want to allow Brew and Shaker to utilize their kits in those enclosed areas. Keep them split. This is a game we've seen Ace win many times, even going back to his days on Secret. This is what made them the champions of that one major Dream League last year.
And who finds the Tempest double? They've got to be quick. Both times Fly getting brought down so low, especially with the Hex finished on Ace.
And look at the lanes. Top and bottom just continuously shoving towards EG's base.
Because it really feels like EG, to deal with these Tempest double plays, they have to be having 4 or 5 of them there to actually get rid of it without losing a support. It's very hard for them to deal with the pressure on all 3 lanes.
And now that the tier 2 dies bottom, this opens up so many more moves, because that creep wave, just getting to the, if you look at the little flag right in front of the base, if we scroll up just a bit, that's where backdoor protection goes down. And then all of a sudden, you can have, down, the pennant on the ground. Yeah, that thing, that actually will disable the backdoor, a little below that. So then you could just immediately global top, as we just saw. Then that was actually top wave, or was it bottom wave?
I mean, Ace is in, but the double does lose, but it's permanent damage on those range racks. This is going to continue to happen. NIP will continue to make these split plays. I mean, you mentioned EG. If they still group up and go as 5, you feel that they could have this force that would be hard for NIP to deal with, but it's certainly not impossible, right? They've got great team fight. The setup with the with the Winter's Curse, the Epicenter follow-ups. It seems like it's a very hard game for EG to fight into. How do EG sort of take back control?
Well, it starts with the talents. You have level 25 on Morph coming up in just a moment, whether he gets the multi-shot, adaptive, or the two waveforms. That's going to be great for him. And more importantly, Arteezy, one level away from 50% cooldown reduction. That is huge. That is going to equalize it a bit, but I don't think NIP ever really feel like they want to take a 5-man engagement. It's going to be EG just forcing the issue somewhere.
Yeah, because for NIP, they can just keep the game played like this, right? All waves are always on EG's half of the map. The chance of EG able to be, push actually towards the base of NIP, it requires them to get these kills, take a team fight. But NIP, they're not letting it happen.
And you can look, you have to be so careful. There are now 4 Spark Wraiths in the pit. That actually just kills the support that goes to face check it.
Let's hope nobody looks in there for EG. Otherwise we'll get a nasty surprise.
It's cool though. You can see both teams really just feeling each other out, trying to figure out when is our go time. I think NIP, this is their strat. As we've seen, they haven't overstepped their limits here at all. In fact, they probably played a bit more conservative just to ensure they don't take that critical engagement that would give EG a leg in this game. They're just riding these Midases. S4, his net worth continues to fall in proportion to the enemy course.
And it's definitely the case that you can see PPD's idea of how to tackle this game. He knew what to expect from EG as a draft. This is the plan, and so far it feels like the plan, it's working out for them.
Yep.
It really is. It's keeping EG on their toes and making it very hard for EG to make plays of their own.
I mean, these teams know each other very well, right? I'm sure NIP, they were 100% prepared for Bubble to first pick Drow, as he's done a few times, but that's the strat, that's what EG likes to do. They want to stay in their comfort zone. NIP had a pocket plan, and this is the outcome. Still tough to say who will win for sure. There's going to at least be one big fight. Bounty Rune spawn, DD on Sumail. I still think EG have to just get their lanes to a good point and just make a play. Try and get something happening, unless they're of the feeling that, hey, we don't mind taking this game out late. But I always favor the squad with global mobility into the hyper late game because it's so much easier to capitalize on an enemy mistake.
Sumail, he's going to go for this Roche. And NIP, even though they've got so many wards up and down the river, they aren't aware of this, and they're not, by the looks of it, going to be able to head over in time. As Sumail should get this one for the team. Aegis now on this Morph. It's already unkillable Morph.
Yep, and they saw the DD. I think that's the right play, because it doesn't matter if EG gets Roche. You're still not going to fight them. The whole plan is just push out these waves, abuse map control. So
what do you do now if you're EG with this Aegis? You start pushing for the base.
Yeah, you want to find some sort of opening here. It's just so hard because, I mean, look at where Ace is playing. He's in his own base as his clone goes to threaten the bottom tier 3.
Yeah, Ace has been absolutely on top of this game. Every single micro and usage of the Tempest double has done so much for the team as a whole, as EG just keep having to respond to these plays with so many resources.
Yep. And the key item is on Sumail. You see it queued up. He needs bots. Somebody's got to have the ability to shove a side lane and then join his team, because otherwise it's just going to be this continuous game of really EG just yo-yoing around the map, and it's Ace pulling the strings.
I mean, I feel like this game, it could be a long one, right? If it continues as such.
I mean, it's already a long one.
It already is.
It's above average time, if I'm not mistaken, and it's no sign of ending soon, though. Any mistake, any miscue from one squad here, the game could end within a minute or two.
Sumail, let's get a hex after the Bloodthorn pops his Lincolns. Still holding himself as Trip will be there, and then we'll be able to get rid of the double. More gold for Sumail as he TPs himself out. Eyes on the arcane room for Fly. PPD's on the eyes of the two of them, and 33 popping the BKB, trying for Arteezy. They get the duel. They pop the Lincolns. They get the duel. They should get this kill with Brown to start. Is that the Light's still alive? He turns. The Light's still jumping for Saxa with a Boris trap, but there's Sumail. It's the Sankey Boris trap. Back onto Saxa. The E-Blade nuke as well. They get the kill onto the SK, and Arteezy survives. They'll get PPD as well. EG finally able to force that fight they've been hunting for.
That was huge, and it was baited. NIP, they went for the engagement, but they weren't able to kill Arteezy before he got the Satanic off, and a big part of that is the status resistance, 30%. So he pops out much faster than NIP realized and just pops Satanic immediately. You're not able to kill him off. Ace was a little bit slow rather, on that rotation with his clone. So close, and EG are going to look to punish. NIP's supports should be alive before they enter the base, but I take that back, because Soxa will certainly still be dead, but look top. Ace with his clone just looking to keep pressuring.
Pressure's coming
Keep
in.
these heroes back.
Question is, how much can EG do? Whilst also dealing with the pressure. Arteezy hexed up, and that allows the Tempest double for the space to take that range Rex away.
For bottom, Smells in.
He is. He's looking for the kills. With the jump forward, they'll nuke down.
Wow.
33. The Prophet is dead. 80 seconds. He has got buyback. S4 helped him backed off. And Sumail using the Legion to buff him up, keep the brew safe. S4 has to be careful. Doesn't have to split. Sumail wants to push on. Wants to find as much as he can whilst EG have the number advantage. Still a 4 minute. Let's get caught up by the Hex and the silence. In fact, Fada's in as well. The duel. The control of S4. The brew's dead. Now EG have to get out of there. Jump forward. They'll put the Lincoln. Sumail's got to be careful. He'll get himself away. Crit's still left behind though. The Shaker trying to hide in the trees. There's the tree itself. Surrounding Crit. Don't pop the cheese. Back up. He's got the Echo. He's trying to turn, but there's the silence to Hex. He's dead. Sumail came back in for the fire strike. Catches him out. Spirit Vessel upon him. He'll put them out to try to get away with the Sprout. Controls him into the SK. Tries to escape, but he can't.
Team's here.
Fly and Arteezy. Can they help him against the full lineup of NRB Saxa? There's the epicenter moving in. Arteezy starts to hit towards Saxa. Sumail. BKB pop zips in. Silence catching out 33, but 33 goes for the TP scroll. He's out of there. Arto and Fly have to be careful. Sumail BKB's about to end. He'll get Saxa. Nuke down Fodder as well with the E-Blade. Sumail keeps his distance. And EG are able to claim some good kills in response, getting both the SK and the Legion.
This game is so tense. It's the same story over and over, right? Nip, they force EG to split up and then they strike immediately. Even though they lost 3-3, it didn't matter. They still felt confident that they could shove EG out of the base, who were unable to finish off the tier 3. It's at just 93 health. Otherwise, these shrines would already be targeted.
And this is still a window that EG can work with.
Yeah.
Right? There's two heroes dead. They can definitely try and force out the buybacks.
They will get the tier 3. Oh, or will they? In the bubble. Into the bubble with the illusion. No! 1 HP!
1 HP. The tower remains and the shrines will stay protected for now.
Yeah, he's got to just send another Manta. But yeah, Arteezy needs bots. They have to just try and deal with these lanes. It's Scotty now up on Arteezy. He's so much tankier.
Arteezy and Crit again able to deal with that. I mean, is there a reason why EG...
Look at this. They're trying to just defend.
One touch will do it, but the Sprout owning it back. They do finally get it. That's the tower gone. Shrines are open, and EG will move straight away to start taking those down. Sumail and Fly will remove the bottom one.
Oh, he doesn't have the gem anymore, does he? He has dust. There's a lot of empty heroes here.
The real Ace. Ace has got to be down. Silence over the two of them. He's got the back of a Saxon. Saxon tries for the bonus shot, but the Lincolns keep Arteezy safe as Ace will fall. EG get the big kill. S4 puts the primal split to make sure he doesn't die to the Tempest double, and now he can try and chase for more. Looking towards Saxa. Saxa into the side. Power strike is out. Does still get caught up by the stun from the primal. He's in the river. Blink out. He'll be fine for now. Saxa getting himself away. But that's an 80-second timing. No Ace. EG will see if they're able to try and force out that buyback.
He's got EG, they've come alive. This is the hyper lane game we were talking about with these 25 talents.
Top lane Saxa trying to play around with Fly, but the 4-star allows Fly to get away from the Epi. That's Epi gone. Yep. They don't have it for this defense as EG are ready to push to the high ground.
It's 2 real cores versus 1. That's the problem for NIP. The Prophet's farmed, but you can't really do much to these EG cores. They're so tanky, they're so farmed, and the level 25 talents give them so much mobility.
And now they're getting the barracks.
They're getting 2, it looks like. Ace is going to have to buy back if they want to defend this.
The Winter's Curse, they've got the duel, they will pop the Lincolns. BKB's going to be popped by Sumail to play it safe. He'll get back, but he gets the melee racks and the range rack to mid lane as well. Arteezy pushing on. Loads of swords out upon him. EG will be careful, they still want to force out that buyback. Sumail zipping up to the high ground with the waveform.
They're trying to save the Ace buyback. They know Megas are not available because EG haven't taken the top 2 towers. They'll trade 1 racks, even 2, to preserve their Arc Warden buyback, because otherwise it's easy for EG. They just dive Ace, find 1 kill, and that'll end the game.
They really want to hold on to this buyback. It's going to cost them 2 sets of racks by the looks of it. And the melee rack's gone. EG pushing on. Arteezy as strong as ever with the backup of his team. No fear of the NIP lineup. As sure, they didn't have to expend the buyback, but now the base of NIP in a very sorry state.
Top shrine already taken. Roche will spawn in 1 to 4 minutes, but this is the key area the map EG wants. Look at that.
That control of the game that EG had. That patience and knowledge at the time to strike back. It was there.
It's all about these level 25s. They've got them online. And they're going to look to dive here. It looks like Ace already TP'd his clone bottom. Nip have to be careful, especially PPD.
EG S4's trying for the commitment. He'll jump in with the instant hex for silence. He'll jump in Fighter's there as well with the duel onto S4. They'll kill off the blue, but the rest of EG is still good to fight. Trying to go towards Fighter. Fighter with the BKB is fine. EG will have to back off as S4's failed initiation will mean they'll be outnumbered.
So tense right now. Trying to think, what items would NIP get to change the game state here? You got MKB on 3-3's Prophet. He is dealing heavy damage, but the problem is that the EG cores just have so much more innate survivability in comparison to NIP's. They're reliant on the peel of their friendly supports, the AoE cleanse that's up on their Legion commander, whereas EG, like, it just feels like you can play so much more offensively minded with no fear. I mean, Sumail specifically, 0 deaths, 14-0-3.
Yeah, the build has just been absolutely perfect from his morph this game. No mistakes whatsoever from Sumail's play.
And he's saving gold. He's going to go for the Daedalus next. Don't know what he would get rid of, actually. He's fully capped out, and you need to have Boots of Travel. I still think that if EG are going to lose this game, it's going to be on the back of Nip splitting them up and skirmishing. They're going to look for a smoke now. I don't think EG saw it.
Tempest Double's going to lead the way.
They see Arteezy. They pop his Lincolns too.
They get the Hex as well. Can they follow this up? They'll look towards him. Saxa looking for the wraparound on the side. Still very careful about how they make this jump though, NRP. There's the jump though, Saxa. He'll look towards Fly first. They'll get rid of the Jakiro. Lincoln's and Lotus being popped down onto Arteezy, trying to keep him as safe as possible. There's the pop of the Lincolns. They will be out to control. On the side with that ult. Vada's in, looking for the duel. BKB's pop, but he doesn't get the duel off. He doesn't cast in time. He'll try and chase down Arteezy, but he won't be able to close the gap. They will get the kill onto Crypt, but Arteezy is allowed to walk away. As Fada, he just didn't get that duel off.
Yep, Roach has spawned though. You know it's an objective. Both cores on both supports are on GG have buyback. You're going to need to contest this. This is the refresher shard.
I mean, I imagine right in that sense, Fada probably couldn't have got the duel because the Lincolns was back on, available for Arteezy after, of course, being helped up by Lincolns of his teammate. So it's very hard for Fada to get these duels.
Immediate split from S4. That was a bit early.
Pushing them out of the pit. And there's on the backlines. Ace starting to poke with that side there. They pop the Lincolns on Arteezy. Arteezy has to be careful. It's down to half HP. Into the pit Sumail goes, but Saxa blinks out. The primal split about to come to an end. S4's going to see if he can try and hunt with the Wind Panda to get some sort of catch. Maybe cancel it, blink in, set something up as EG have the space to go into the pit.
S4 used his BKB there as well. He is a non-factor in these engagements.
Winter's Curse is unavailable for 20 seconds. PPD doesn't have the attack. He's got out, PPD's gone! He's got buyback, he'll use his straight away, 33, pop the BKB, Sumail still trying to finish off Roshan.
They got the Lotus Orb Hex off onto the Awkward.
BKB popped here by Sumail, making sure that he can get this right. He steals the Aegis, but S4 refresher shard that splits up again. They instantly kill off Fada's Aegis. They'll look to go for him a second time around the ice path. The control Fada stuck in the pit. He needs help. Cold Embrace is there from PPD, but S4 sends PPD up into the air with the Wind Panda. Fada, can he escape? BKB's pop, but he cannot walk out of this. EG have the damage. They've killed Fada. He's dead for 100.
He's got buyback. Aegis was used, Refresher Shard was used, so that whole Roche engagement is for naught. Nothing really changing. We're going to have a couple of some buyback trades. Both EG supports do not have one. Fada's going to be forced to use his in just a moment. Winter Wyvern as well has his ult available, but
he's got the curse.
You've got to be more cautious if you're PPD. He was caught inside of the pit. I think just maybe baiting, trading his death to buy a little time so he could buy back. Knew he was going to have to, but...
And such a good play there from S4. He's been having a tough game so far, but getting that refresher shot picked up, popping it so he can have that split, and then have that control to send PPD up into the air. PPD brought back to get a curse off, but he could not because of S4's control.
Yep. I think Ace, he's looking to finish. He has a Moon Shard in his item slot. He needs a BKB, but he has to have gold for buyback before he purchases it. And EG, they're going to look to threaten Megas here. They have the range racks mid still to consume, but for now, I think you're cool just posturing around the base. Your cores both have a ton of innate survivability. And Nip, they're not strong at team fighting. They want to be splitting the map, but EG's on the doorstep.
And they don't want to use the spy back on Fada. They're doing their best to hold on without the need of the Legion to defend against the push of EG.
So tense. But it's just tough. Look at this Nip just standing in the sandstorm. Ace throwing out Spark Wraith after Wraith. It's so much clear that EG are actually going to be forced off. They don't want to walk high ground.
Yeah, they've got to be careful. They know that the Winter's Curse is there, and that's the big play that PPD could catch them out with.
Yes.
Let's see here. I want to see... I like what Fly's done. You see mid and top, he's placed sentry wards. It's key, because if they can somehow find Ace getting a little too aggressive with his real hero, he dies so quickly, but they need to have that detection. And it's not reliable to play around a support with a gem, because as we've seen, Crit, if he isn't in a safe space, he can just die at any moment. if there's a hex landed on him by either Ace or the 3-3 Prophet. Actually, no, sorry, not the 3-3 Prophet. But it's just so many hexes. I thought there were two. It's just two Aces.
There's a lot of hexes, but there's also a lot of Lincolns. And we're seeing EG with those Lincolns.
Yep.
And Lotus Orbs, of course, crit as well, able to, just at least make sure that the target isn't fully focused after he's been a Hextra. It's not going to save him immediately, but it does put them off from fully committing on a target.
Yeah. And I'm definitely buying this Drow Lincolns now, because BKB is nice, but he has a 6-second cooldown on the Lincoln spell block. Yeah. And in addition, he's got both of his supports itemizing for a Lotus Orb. They're just doing their best to ensure their cores can't be targeted by these single spell abilities. And one missed Wyvern ulti, one improper hex that Ace unfortunately gets on himself, that could just completely throw the game for NIP. And EG, this is where you want to be playing as Dire, this top shrine of Radiant area, because you have this great high ground ward. You just camp here. You have sentries on either end, although the one on the left side just fell, and Nip's in the base. This is the first time I think EG has been able to successfully contain this Nip lineup. I'm sure the super waves in both mid and bottom do help.
And now the question is, it really is asking for NIP, now that they are behind, do they have a plan to get out of this position with their draft? It was very clear what they wanted to do, keep the split pressure on, but with 2 racks down on the middle and that bottom lane, they just can't play as they were. There's no way for them to have enough pushing power to get EG out of this position. EG can just constantly hold outside the base. As S4, he's up to the high ground with the split. He's looking to start things up potentially. They'll kill the Tempest double. He'll start focusing the tower. They're just going to push on EG.
He's got the cooldown talent. He hit 25.
The 33 pop the BKB. He's trying to lead in, but look at this damage from Arteezy. Fortification has to be used by NIP to keep the tower safe. But EG slowly breaking down.
Whoa, look at S4.
We'll get out with the blink after the split.
Yeah, I think they killed his Earth Panda, but Nip, they're going to smoke out. They know there's no split for just a moment. They could hug the left side too, and they're going to try and do the big wraparound.
Oh, if they can get a catch here, this would be huge, being the position that they're in. They've been forced into a very hard play.
It's the bounty runes. They place high ground vision. This is huge for NIP.
They'll get crit. Jump in with the bow strike.
Buyback on him.
The lockdown. There's the jaw shaker's gone for 2 minutes.
3 minutes, and he's dead for a while too. Well, yeah, a full 2 minutes, and he has no buyback. That was a huge play. They finally get a wraparound where they'll have the vision advantage. Now they're going to look to team fight. It's still 4 on 5.
They're going to try and fight 4v5. They get the silence fire. Jumps out in time before Arteezy gets the touch off. Saxa safe for now by the cold embrace, but somehow back in. Turns into this SK. Has the power strike. Saxon's gone, but Saxon does have buyback available.
Be so careful, PPD. He can't die here. He has no buyback.
We'll get out before any sort of control from the Wind Panda or the Earth Panda is there. He's back to base.
Man, so tense. I love it. Both teams playing well, and how fitting that the death timers on both 4 positions are nearly in sync. After the way this game has gone, 25-24, Nip has the kill lead, but EG certainly with an advantage in terms of the destruction of the enemy base, which is the name of the game after all. Approaching our first hour-long game of the day, if I'm not mistaken, or was that Liquid one?
No, I believe this one.
The seeds of fortune.
There's no surprise. I mean, Samael, he has been absolutely bossing it this game. 15-0-5. We've seen a lot of good morphing performances in the history of Dota, but this definitely has to be up there from Samael.
Bottom shrine is under attack.
Very close to the top.
Yeah. He told me before the game, I don't want to be called king anymore. I asked what I should nickname him. He said, call me the GOAT.
And he's showing why you should this game.
They're still just, I think they're going to try and keep rinse repeating. Yep, you brew split, use the duration of it to force glyph or objective damage.
It's free damage. Free damage on the racks. What do NIP do about this play?
If they put the Lincolns on the Drow Ranger, they're just going to keep spamming Mantas. Just slowly whittle down the Nip base, force them to come out and play.
Texas back within 10 seconds. That's 33. BKB pop.
Oh. Yep. I think S4 did the right move here. Instead of going for that right-click build, he itemized not for as much scaling. So he went for the health to the split units and the split cooldown. So he's all about the split and just creating this 20-second window where you can't fight through him, and EG always get that little bit of damage. And you can see even now, like, remember when Arteezy was going down to like a quarter HP to kill his clone? All of a sudden, it doesn't even tickle him. He has 10k saved, BKB available for purchase. He's going to switch over to a Moonshard and consume it. I think that's the right decision because you just don't have a slot for the BKB. And I've now come around. The Lincoln Sphere is far more valuable when you look at the way this game is being played out.
Spada, he's going to try for the jump.
Oh, they
got a hex. They get the jewel. They're going to lock down Samael, but he's so tanky. He's just going to stay alive. They cannot kill him off in time. They'll try with the ball strike, but Samael shifting into the HP. Crit. Echo Saxer. The buybacks have to come out this time from NIP. As PPD will get the blink off after the golden base up to the high ground. S4 with the Wind Panda will be able to throw the real ace up into the air. EG will back away, respect the two buybacks that come out from NIP. But EG just slowly and meticulously breaking down NIP, forcing out these reactions, forcing out fortifications, forcing out now the buybacks. As EG are just crawling themselves closer and closer to being able to close up this game one.
So methodical. Like, you can see the wards, all of the wards focused around this top area of the map. They're just playing it as 5, even checking the runes, ensuring now Sumail's going to play with the DD. No buyback on 2 heroes on the side of NIP. This is where it gets dicey. You gotta play near flawlessly. You gotta find some way to puncture through this brew and find a kill on a core, but how do you get on top of Sumail before he gets the strength morph off is the question.
I mean, they haven't been able to all game.
You're gonna find a clone. And all you gotta do, just keep playing. This is the Tal special. I played with them. When you're this position in the game, just cut 2 waves, play as 5. You can't lose so long as you execute properly. Keep spitting, slowly but surely. Glyph not available for 30 seconds.
Top rags are exposed. You have a field at least to stop those hits.
Sumail's in.
Connecting. Found PPD on the side. PPD's Glimmer is about to wear off. He's trying to keep himself hidden, but Sumail's supposed to BKB commits with the kill. Saxer will try and jump over the epicenter, but RTZ slides off to the side. The turback Saxer cannot afford to die. He's brought back. He's got to play it safe. We'll be able to get back up to the high ground, but that is a 3rd buyback forced out now by EG.
Actually, I think NIP overemphasized these single target abilities, the Yules and the Hex on Saxa. If he had a Shiva's, I feel like it'd be so much easier for NIP to play these fights. You cancel the Blink Dagger or the Shaker, but more importantly, you provide vision. Because right now, it just feels like EG have no problem poking out and retreating back to their high ground. NIP have no real way of closing these gaps, and EG are abusing that, finding the 1 kill, forcing the buyback, and I imagine they're going to regroup, grab these bounty runes, look for real runes, and just continue doing the same move.
All these Tempest doubles just being used to keep eyes on EG, know that they're at least still in this area. It is allowing the Prophet to now get out on the map a little bit. 33 starting to push back some of these side lanes. Saxer there as well to help get rid of this pressure that's building up. But the Roshan's up, EG. They'll have the luxury to be able to back up and take that. Very unlikely NIP can do anything about it. It's so hard for them to leave the base with these waves pushing in as such, especially on mid and top lane. And with the speed that EG take this will be a free Aegis, Cheese and Refresher Sharp for EG. And with that and the fact that the buybacks for 3 members of NIP are still on cooldown for at least 5 minutes, EG are more than ready to go for the finishing shot.
If they put the Aegis on crit, he's most likely to go down here. While I'll be playing the background and just, it's the same game plan. They're going to blink in, split, try and whittle down this base. Glyph is available for NIP, however. They'll be able to delay it for some time. I think Ace making the right move here, trying to get aggressive bot.
Fortification does have to be used by EG, but EG now know they've got the numbers, so they'll collapse immediately into the base. They'll take down the range Rex. They'll get the melee Rex as well, surely.
Oh my gosh,
actually, the fortification is going to slow them down a bit, but indeed,
in the base.
He's trying for the tier 4s. He's forcing them back. EG's got to answer to this. They have set back Fly. They'll now be tipping back on more.
Oh, but all of a sudden,
they get the megas though. EG will finish up the base. There's the jump in, the mega kills as well. Cold Embrace is going to be used to try and keep Saxer safe. Sumail, he's going to have a bow take out of this one. But there's the Winter's Curse holding back Sumail, won't save Saxer. As Saxer dead for 2 minutes without buyback. PPD's gone as well. They're able to have the control onto the Prophet. 33, he's going to be dead and gone. He does have buyback, but NIP 3 versus 5 now.
They're going to go straight for the base though. There's a lot of damage. It's going to be a throw.
There's no way they can outdo the drow damage. There's no way as this ancient falling to the drow, falling to the morph. EG, they've got the speed, the power to do it. Close them. 62 minutes in, it's a long one. But it is such a carefully crafted game by evil geniuses. They played it perfectly. NIP turned up. They had an idea.